Hello everyone, welcome back to Maths class, chapter number 25, Probability, the continued part of exercise 25C. Kindly refer your textbook for the question, children. Question number 25. A circle with diameter 20 cm is drawn somewhere on a rectangular piece of paper with length 40 cm and width 30 cm. This paper is kept on horizontal on tabletop, and a dice very small in size is dropped on the rectangular paper without seeing towards it. If the dice falls and lands on the paper only, find the probability that it will fall and land inside the circle and outside the circle. So try to understand this question, children. Let us consider that a circle is drawn of diameter 20 cm, hence the radius is 10 cm and the area of the circle will be equal to pi r square. It results as 2200 by 7 square centimeter. This is the area or the portion of the circle. As it is said that it is a rectangular paper of 40 cm and 30 cm, area of rectangular paper will be equal to 1200 square centimeter. So total possible outcomes is area of a rectangular paper because a dice is thrown on a paper. So now we need to find the probability if the dice falls inside the circle or outside the circle. That is the condition. Now we know what is the area of a rectangle and what is the area of a circle. Let us move on to the first sub question, that is find the probability that it will fall and land inside the circle. So what is the area of the circle? What is the possibility that it will lie on the circle? That is 2200 by 7 is the favorable outcome as it is the area of a circle what we have already calculated. So total possible outcomes is 1200, hence it results as 11 by 42. Now the second sub question can be solved in two methods, children. Both the methods I have given over here. First, you just understand this in this way. As they asked us to find the probability that it will fall and land outside the circle. So we can go for the complement, that is probability of outside the circle is equal to 1 minus probability of inside the circle. Hence, it results as 1 minus 11 by 42 which is equal to 31 by 42. If you are not able to identify it in this way, do it in the other alternative method. That is, first we need to calculate the area of the remaining part. So, as the paper is of 1200 square centimeter, area covered by circle is 2200 by 7. So, its difference will be the remaining part. So why we need to find out the remaining part? In the second sub question it is said that we need to find the probability where the dice fall outside the circle. We don't know what is the area which is outside the circle. We know the complete area of a rectangle and the area of a circle. So its difference will give you the area which is remaining, that is the part outside the circle on the rectangular paper. Its outcome is 6200 by 7 and the favorable outcome is 6200 by 7 and total possible outcomes is 1200. Hence it results as 31 by 42. The simplification part is changed in both the type of solution, but the solution remains the same. So when we have to find out outside the circle, we can subtract it, the inside the circle probability from the value 1. Next, question number 27. 3 coins are tossed together. Write all the possible outcomes. Now find the probability of getting exactly 2 heads, at least 2 heads, at most 2 heads, all tails, at least 1 tail. So this is the first question where we have got 3 coins are tossed together. So total number of possible outcomes is equal to 2 into 2 into 2 into 2, that is 8. It is not 23 children, it is 2 cube. 2 cube is equal to 8. So which are the possible outcomes? All possible outcomes, hedge, hedge, hedge. That is all the 3 coins are facing towards head. then 2 head, 1 tail, 2 head, 1 tail, so that the first and the third coins are head and the second coin will be the tail. Like this, list out all the total possible outcomes. Its value is equal to 8. Now the first question is exactly 2 heads. So exactly 2 heads means there is no alternate. We need to consider the outcome should have 2 heads. See, H, H, T, we have 2 heads. T, H, H, where we have 2 heads. H, T, H, here also we have 2 heads. So the number of favorable outcomes is equal to 3. Hence, its probability is 3 by 8. Now, the second sub question. At least 2 heads. What do you mean by the word at least 2 heads, children? Minimum 2 and maximum might be anything. Already we have told you 2 is compulsory. We should have 2. That is the minimum one. But maximum it can be 3 or more than that. In this problem, as we have tossed only 3 coins, at least 2 heads can be understood in this way that the outcome can have 2 or 3 heads. So here I know that there is the possible outcome is only 3. As I am having only 3 coins, either it can have 2 heads or it can have 3 heads. So at least 2 heads means the outcome with 2 or more heads. Hence it results as 4 in numbers. So the probability is 4 by 8, which is equal to 1 by 2. And next sub question is at most 2 heads. At most 2 heads means it can be 0 head, it can be 1 head and it can be 2 heads. That is, maximum is 2 and minimum is 0. At most 2 head can be the value with no head, 1 head and 2 heads. So list out all the possible outcomes. There are 7 in numbers. Hence the probability is 7 by 8. And the third sub question fourth one, all tails. All the 3 coins are tails means we have only one possible outcome, T, T, T. That is probability is 1 by 8. And the last sub question is at least 1 tail. So at least 1 tail means what, children? It can have 1 tail, it can have 2 tails or it can have 3 tails also. At least minimum 2 in this, as there are 3 coins. The meaning of at least 1 tail means the outcome can have 1 tail, 2 tails or 3 tails. There are 7 in numbers, hence the probability is 7 by 8. Question number 28. 2 dice are thrown simultaneously. What is the probability that 4 will not come up either time? See, as we know that total number of all possible outcomes when 2 dice are thrown, it is 6 exact 36. In many of the problems, we have listed out all the 36 possible outcomes. In this example, it is clearly said that favorable outcome is 4 will not come up either time. That means in both the dice, 4 is not at all possible to come. So here all the numbers, all the output with 4 are blocked. So if you count the remaining output, it results as 25. Hence the probability is 25 by 36. Now the second sub question is 4 will come up at least once. See children, in the previous problem also we did same type of problem. That is, now here we came to know 4 will not come up. Now they are asking us to find the probability that 4 will come up. So now what I rejected now, that I need to accept. So it can be calculated by using the difference formula. That is, probability of 4 will not come up once is equal to 1 minus probability will not come up either time. It is 1 minus 25 by 36, which is equal to 11 by 36. This is one way. Or if you are not able to do it in the regular manner, I have shown in the table also, 4 will come up at least once. So all the rectangular boxes which are marked as having the output with 4, list out. They are 11 in numbers, hence the probability is 11 by 36. Next, question number 32. Question number 30 and question number 31, they are solved in the textbook. Kindly go through and solve it by yourself. From a pack of 52 playing cards, all cards whose numbers are multiples of 3 are removed. So we know that total number of cards is equal to 52. Which are the multiples of 3? It is 3, 6, 9. As there are 4 categories, if we remove 3, 6, 9 number cards from the pack of 52, so we need to remove 12 cards. So all the 12 cards are removed from out of 52, then the remaining cards will be equal to 40. Try to understand this question, children. You are having 52 cards. We know that there are 4 categories, so that each category will have 13 cards. In the question it is said that all the numbers who are multiples of 3 are removed. So in one category, the multiple of 3, there are 3 cards. 3, 6, 9. That is 3 cards should be removed from first category, second category, third and fourth category simultaneously. Then what happens now? Totally we have removed 12 cards. Hence the remaining cards is equal to 40. So total possible outcomes is not 52, it is 40. The first sub-question says that find what is the probability that the card drawn is a face card. So we know that already number of face cards is equal to 12. Hence the probability is 12 by 40. Its value is equal to 3 by 10. And the second sub-question is an even numbered red card. So there are only 2 categories of red cards, which are even numbers among them 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. But 6 is already removed. So we cannot consider 6. Be careful at this point, children. We know that which are the number of cards in the category. But here there is a condition in the beginning itself. We have removed the multiples of 3. Hence 6 is not in the total outcomes. So the even numbered red cards are 2, 4, 8, 10. There are 2 categories of red cards. Hence the total favorable outcomes is equal to 8. Probability is 8 by 40, which is equal to 1 by 5. Next, question number 33. A dice has 6 faces marked by the given numbers as shown below. Usually we used to solve the dice problems with numbers numbered as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But here the other output is given. The dice are marked with 1, 2, 3 and -1, -2, -3. So total number of possible outcomes is 6, but the numbers are marked with in other ways. So kindly go through with the textbook. First sub question. What is the probability of getting a positive integer? So in 1, 2, 3, -1, -2, -3, which are the positive integers? They are 1, 2 and 3. Hence number of favorable outcomes is equal to 3. Probability is 3 by 6. Its value is equal to 1 by 2. Second sub question. An integer greater than -3. So all the values 1, 2, 3, -1, -2 are greater than -3. Why? Because in this -3 is the least. So 1, 2, 3, -1 and -2 are greater than -3. Favorable outcomes is 5. Probability is 5 by 6. And the smallest integer, find the probability that what is the probability of getting a smallest integer? What is the smallest integer? -3. How many times you will be able to get -3? It is only marked at once. So the favorable outcome is 1. Probability is equal to 1 by 6. Question number 37. A box contains a certain number of balls. On each of 60% balls, letter A is marked. On each of 30% balls, letter B is marked. On each of remaining balls, letter C is marked. A ball is drawn on the box at random. Find the probability that the ball drawn is marked C, A or B, neither B nor C. Children, if you observe here, if 60% of the balls are marked with A, 30% are marked with B, remaining is marked with C, automatically percentage is for 100, 60% plus 30% is 90, remaining is nothing but equal to 100 minus 90, which is equal to 10%. Hence the total number of all possible outcomes is equal to 100. If 100 are balls, then 60 balls are marked with A, 30 balls are marked with B, and 10 balls are marked with C. So, suppose a question. Find the probability that the ball drawn is marked with C, that is 10 by 100. Find the probability that the ball drawn is A or B. Already I have told you many times, children, A or B means we need to find the sum of the probability that the ball drawn is marked with A as well as to find the probability that the ball drawn is marked with B. Its sum will be considered as the probability that the ball drawn is A or B. So, number of A balls marked with A is 60, probability is 60 by 100, its value is 6 by 10, and the probability that the ball drawn is marked B is number of B balls or 30, 30 by 100 is 3 by 10, its sum is equal to 9 by 10. Then the third sub question is neither B nor C. How nice the question is, children, try to understand. Neither B nor C. So neither B nor C means the sum of number of probability that the ball drawn is B and C can be removed. That means we know that the probability that the ball drawn by, if it is B, it is 3 by 10. If it is C, it is 1 by 10. Its sum is 4 by 10. So 4 by 10 is the probability that if the ball drawn is B or C. Now neither B nor C means what? Remove that from 1. That is 1 minus 4 by 10. That is equal to 6 by 10. Its value is equal to 3 by 5. Next. Question number 38. A box contains a certain number of balls. Some of these balls are marked A, some of these are marked B, and the remaining are marked C. When a ball is drawn at random from the box, P of A is equal to 1 by 3, its value is given. P of B is equal to 1 by 4. There are 40 balls in the box which are marked C. Find the number of balls in the box. So instead of giving the number of balls in the box marked with A, B and C, the information is given in this way. Probability of drawing the balls marked with A is 1 by 3, B is 1 by 4 and the number of balls marked with C is given as 40. Let us move it in this way. So probability of C, that is the number of balls drawn, probability if the balls are marked with C, it is equal to 1 minus the sum of probability of A and B. So its value is equal to 5 by 12. So as there are already 40 balls marked with C, try to equate it. Hence the total number of balls in the box is 96. By this we have completed all the problems of exercise 25C and hence the probability chapter. Thank you children. Have a nice day.